Now, another reason that underwriting experience is so important is because so many different people get paid so many different ways. We've already talked about all of the different ways that entrepreneurs get paid, but there are people that are working salaried positions. There are others that have an hourly rate. There are others that are working full-time, but they're not working 40 hours. They're working less than 40 hours. I work with customers that work part-time, have two jobs, are on commission income. Folks that they are business professionals and all of their income is off of commission, or individuals that get bonuses. What I'm trying to communicate is that every individual, every employee is going to get paid in a different way. And because I have that valuable underwriting experience, I'm not intimidated. That doesn't intimidate me, and I know exactly how to qualify each individual based off of their financial picture and how they get paid. Now, not only that, but as an underwriter, I also underwrote every type of loan product that you can imagine. Now, a lot of people think about mortgage as a take it or leave it, or one loan product, which is a mortgage. There is actually several different types of mortgages that an individual can apply for. I have personally underwrote conventional loans, FHA loans, down payment assistance loans, jumbo loans up to 3 or 4 million. I've also underwrote affordable housing, down payment assistance, FHA 203K, rehab and construction loans. So as an underwriter, I got to do all of these different types of loan products and loan programs for all different types of people from different walks of life. I get to work with folks that are immigrants, first generation immigrants that have come here to the United States, and they are working on getting their citizenship and they're starting their first job. I get to work with individuals that have permanent residence. I work with individuals that have only a work permit. I work with individuals that have been here for 2 or 3 generations. I get to work with professional investors, with folks that are building their investment portfolio. And having the ability to underwrite is what gave me the incredible opportunity and privilege to really broaden my skill set and work with all these different products, all these different individuals, and all of these different types of income. And that is what makes me unique as a mortgage loan professional, is that I can say that, and practically no other loan officer out there has that experience, has that skill set, or has that ability. And because I have that skill set and the ability, another thing that's really important is I am always going to get every customer that applies with me into the right loan program. There are so many loan officers out there that are putting their customers into the wrong loan program. And the customer's not going to know what loan program they belong in. That's the job of the mortgage professional. And I see so many other individuals make that error all the time. And the reason for that is because they don't have the skills, they don't have the experience, and they sometimes just don't want to do the work. Having a background as diverse as mine, I am able to identify very quickly where, based off of this individual's credit score or the amount of reserves that they have, or what their debt to income ratio is, or the purchase price, or the property type. Do they qualify for affordable housing? I know how to identify that very, very quickly so I can get my customers into the right loan program at the right interest rate, at the right cost, and put them in the very best position for financial success. I work with customers that need down payment assistance. I work with affordable housing programs. I work with affordable housing programs like CHAFA. I've done loans for individuals that need a $4 million mortgage to go purchase an incredibly priced home. I know how to originate VA loans, jumbo, USDA, home equity lines of credit, home equity loans. I'm licensed in all 50 states. I get to work with customers in multiple markets. I work with first-time home buyers, customers that are buying a second home. I work with investors. And it's all because of the mortgage professional that I am. Having this diverse skill set and this technical ability from this underwriting experience that I have, at the end of the day, it just allows me to provide a much higher level of service to my referral partners, to the real estate agents that I work with, and also to my customers. And I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be very straightforward. Right now, in some markets, it's very difficult because affordability is very low. And not every customer is going to qualify. But what I do for every customer is if they don't qualify, we will put a plan together so we can put them on the path to homeownership. Sometimes they need to get their credit improved. I will outline a plan, steps that they can take to improve their credit. Sometimes we need to get their employment stabilized. I will give them talking points and things to think about on how they can do that. I will always tell and plan with all of my customers things that they can do to empower themselves, to put themselves on the path to homeownership. Now, yes, I do have that incredible skill set of being a mortgage underwriter and working in all of these different areas in the mortgage industry. But what I consider most important is my genuine care and my great concern for each and every customer that I work with. I will always put their needs first and above my own. And let me just share a quick story with you. Back when I moved back to Denver in 2015, I had just sold my home in Phoenix, Arizona. I was moving back to Golden, Colorado, which is where I grew up. And at the time, housing had already appreciated significantly. And the home that I was purchasing was 2 or 3 times more than the home that I had just sold. And so it was a really big step to get back into home ownership in Denver because housing was so much more. And this is, 8 or 9 years ago. And I knew at the time that I didn't have anything to worry about because I was a mortgage underwriter. I had already secured new employment. But the loan officer that I was working with, he didn't communicate with me. He didn't return my calls. He didn't respond to my text messages. He wasn't communicating at all. And even though I knew that I had nothing to worry about because I was well qualified, I had already sold my home in Arizona, nothing to worry about. I was so stressed just because he didn't reply to me. He did not keep me informed. He was not engaged and he wasn't keeping me up to date. It was so stressful. There's that emotional side of purchasing a home. Not only do we have to get qualified for it, but it also represents our hopes, our dreams, our family, our community, where we're going to be for the next 5, 10 years. And I always remembered that when I got back into origination and became a loan officer, I was never, ever going to treat anyone the way that I was treated when I got my home. So communication to me is very important. I keep all of my customers informed. I keep them up to date. I reply to emails and text messages as quickly as we can. And most importantly, I am proactive with all of my communication. I keep them up to date. I set appropriate expectations, and I make sure that their questions are answered every step of the way. And when you operate your business like that, it removes the stress and it removes the anxiety. And when we're doing our pre-approvals, we collect all of our documents up front. So I never send out a pre-approval without having the full financial package, the tax returns, the bank statements, the pay stubs, the W-2s, the employment verified. We do all of our work up front. We get all questions answered, and then we send out that pre-approval. And guess what? It works so well. The customers love it. There's such less anxiety, and it is the best way to originate mortgages. And lastly, I practice everything that I preach. And all of the loans that I'm originating and putting my customers into, well, I know what those loans are like to use on a personal level. I have had an FHA loan as a first-time home buyer, so I can relate to that first-time home buyer that has an FHA loan. I have refinanced into a conventional loan. I have dropped my mortgage insurance. I've bought a second home. I have used mortgages to buy investment properties. I've done DSCR loans. I have an offset mortgage. I have commercial loans. I have home equity lines of credit. I have home equity loans. I've used portfolio financing. So not only am I literate and able to recommend certain loans to customers when they're appropriate, I am also using them myself. And the reason for that is because I'm financially literate. And that is something that I also want to share with my customers. I want to help them grow their financial literacy. I want to help them put a financial plan together in the short term, in the long term, how real estate is going to factor into that, and what mortgage is going to be the most appropriate to meet their goals. Financial literacy is not taught anywhere, and I want to be able to give back and be a financial resource for everyone that I work with. And those are just a couple things that make me unique as a mortgage professional. Well, I'm going to let you go. I certainly appreciate your time. If you found value in this video, please give us a like and subscribe. We're still looking to build out the channel. God bless. And until next time, the American Offset Mortgage signing off.